It's Christmas time again. This time of year always brings warm memories. For me, some of the warmest memories are of my grandmother. When I was a little girl, she used to put me on her lap just before I went to sleep, and she'd read me a fairy tale. Our favorite fairy tales were by Hans Christian Andersen. And if I coaxed her enough, she'd tell me about the time when she actually met Hans Christian Andersen. Of course, then she was a little girl and she'd just started school. One day at school, in walked a tall, elderly, distinguished gentleman, and all the children looked at him because they knew who he was. They'd seen pictures of him. He was a famous poet and storyteller. Well, Mr. Andersen walked over to the teacher's desk and they nodded, and he took a chair and he placed it and he sat in it, and then he looked at the children and he smiled, and he saw my grandmother, little as she was, and he beckoned to her. She came to him. He sat her on his lap, and for an enchanted hour he told fairy tales. Well, my grandmother never got over this occasion, brief as it was, her meeting Hans Christian Andersen, and the sense of comforting closeness that seemed to be part of it. And as she grew older, she got the feeling she had really known him, and that feeling she passed on to me. Well, there was always something of a child in Mr. Andersen. He had that rare quality of retaining the wonder and the constant alertness and awareness of the small miracles that compose life. Mr. Andersen wrote for everybody, from the ages of 8 to 88. And when you read his satiric fables, sometimes you can recognize a relative or a friend, and if you're honest, sometimes even yourself. Hans Christian Andersen wrote about real living things. The roots of his fairy tales come out of his own life story, and he didn't make these stories up. Most of the tales grew out of what had happened to him when he was a boy. In every one of his fairy tales, we see him. The ugly duckling, the red shoes, and the little match girl. His father was a poor shoemaker. Hans loved him dearly, but his father was not a well man, and he died when Hans was only 8 years old, and that was the end of his childhood. His mother worked very hard, washing other people's clothes in a cold river, but she never made enough money to really live on. So at 14, Hans went to another city and found work, and he sent home to his grandmother and his mother almost every cent he earned. For years, he lived in a room almost as small as a cupboard. There were no windows. There were holes in the floor to let in the air. And the room was so small that when he entered it, he had to take the one chair and put that on the bed. But that's when he started to write. Oh, mercy. He wrote about things he remembered, things he envisioned, and out of all this writing came his fairy tales. And out of those fairy tales came fame and riches. He was entertained by the kings and queens of Europe. And in most of these cities, though, he sought out the poorer sections. He felt at home with the poor, unfortunate ones. And one day, he was wandering about in the slums of London, and he saw a thin little girl selling matches. And as he bent over to buy her matches, he smiled at her, and she shyly curtsied, and when he went away, he thought about her. And then the memory came back to him of his grandmother having told him that her parents had sent her out on the streets to beg, and how shy she felt, and how much he cried when she told him that story. So he went back to his room, and he started to write The Little Match Girl.
Come on, get her out of bed. Come on. Outside. Come on. Get out of here, you. Go on. I hate you. Get out of here. Get out of here and get some You don't even care. I don't have any money to go out and buy. Get out. You'd better sell those lousy matches.
You should have stayed out all night till you sold them all. Better do that. You hear me? It's for you. Look what you did to your mother. You made her cry. Now you better get out there and sell the matches. You understand? You understand? You understand? Okay, you better do more than try. You better get out there and sell them all or don't come home. Or I'll beat you. I'll beat you black and blue.
Yes, Peter Black.
Hey, wait a minute. I ain't through with you. Come back here. Come here, you. Come back here. Come here. Wait a minute. I'm not through with you yet. Eat you. You better come back here. Come here, you little... Come here. Stupid little brat. I get you, I'll kill you. Where are you? In here? Over here. Where are you? Oh, you little brat. I'll get you. Beat you black and blue till you can't walk again. Better sell them.
This is so dirty. Mommy and Daddy are really mad at me because I haven't made enough money this week for them to go out and celebrate tonight. Everybody celebrates on New Year's Eve. It's a big holiday. Every day, things have gotten worse and worse at my house since Grandmother died last week on Christmas Eve. Mommy and Daddy, they've gotten drunk every day. They have, ever since I can remember. And they've never been able to work. So Grandmother and I, we did. We made and sold matches together. And we brought home pretty much money. That made Mommy and Daddy happy. And they were nicer to me then. But with Grandmother gone, I've only made half as much money. And Mommy and Daddy are really mad. They've beaten me harder and harder all week long. They told me before that I couldn't come home unless I sold all my matches. But I always did.
yeah. Come on, let's go.
Would you like to buy some matches? Matches? Would you like to buy some matches? Matches? Matches today?
Well, I bet you'd like some fruit, wouldn't you?
Yeah, uh-huh.
How much money would you have?
None.
No money?
No, come on, Rosie. Yes, you are.
Well, hi, little girl. How are you today? Huh? You want to snort? Huh? Don't want to snort? Well, listen, you have a happy new year, all right?
New Year's Eve is not a regular day. It's a big holiday. People get all dressed up and go out. And they have big parties.
Would you like to buy some matches?
Grandmother said a long time ago, as it got near the end of the year and the days got shorter and shorter,
Would you like to buy some matches?
that people thought the world would end on the last day of the year. And at midnight on New Year's Eve, when it didn't, everyone celebrated because they would have another year. The only bad thing about New Year's Eve is that people don't buy mini matches. They've usually done their shopping before the holiday. Matches are important. All people need them to start their fires, to cook the food, and to keep warm. I hope someone forgot to buy them and needs to. It's getting late. I'd better sell some soon. Grandmother and I always had good luck at the entrance, but I haven't today. Maybe I'll walk around the square and I'll do better. I'm so tired and cold and hungry. I need to sit down for just a minute and figure out how I can sew my matches. I'm so worried. I don't know what I'm going to do. I wished Mommy and Daddy loved me and would let me come home. I try to be good and do everything they tell me to make them happy. But no matter what I do, they just don't love me. And they haven't given me anything to eat in 2 days because I didn't bring them enough money to buy food. It was only enough to buy whiskey. I'm so hungry. I don't mean to feel sorry for myself. I know that people worse off than me. I'm very lucky. I got to have grandmother for this long. And even though we were poor, I was very happy with her. When I'm sad, I look in the window of the shops and I forget. But I better not tonight. Mommy and Daddy are waiting for me to bring them the money so they can go out and celebrate. I better hurry. I wish grandmother were here. She could tell me what to do. She was an expert at selling matches. She could sell them even on the hardest days. And if grandmother was here, she'd have a snack for me. She always brought me one when we had to work late, so I wouldn't get hungry. Sold any matches all day long. Everyone's going home now to have their New Year's Eve dinner. I wish someone would ask me for dinner. I can't go home. Mommy and Daddy would really beat me. But it's my only home. Even though it's bad, I don't have any other place to go. I don't have any relatives. Or even any friends. I've worked all my life and haven't had time to make any friends. Grandmother was my only friend. I guess I'll go to the cemetery where grandmother is. If I'm with grandmother, maybe I won't be afraid. I've been there to visit grandmother every day since she died. She's buried in the cemetery for the poor people. They don't put markers on the grave there, so I put a little cross on her spot. I'm happy when I think about grandmother, or when I'm there with her. She's really up in heaven. She told me that she didn't want to leave me, but she was getting old and she would have to go to heaven. But that she would watch over me. And then one day she'll come back and bring me there with her. I can't wait to go. She said, heaven is a wonderful place, and God is the kindest Father, and that no one is poor or hungry or cold there, and no one ever hurts you or is mean to you.
Made your little party dress all dirty. Here, sit down there for a minute. You're not lost, are you? Good. Now, you sit down here, take a couple of deep breaths, and then you go home to your mum and dad. And you be careful, won't you?
Thank you.
Are you all right, man? Eh?
Oh, yes, quite.
Good.
I do hope the poor little thing wasn't badly hurt.
Oh, no, she's not hurt at all, ma'am. Just frightened, that's all. You'll be all right. Oh, but it could have been a lot worse. All right, now, off we go. Careful, little girl. Don't you go running with the road no more. You might get yourself hurt, you know, then, don't you? Be careful. Get yourself hurt. I think it's a bloody shame the way they let these poor kids run the streets, don't you? Get themselves killed.
My slippers must have fallen off my feet when I jumped across the road. The carriage wheels must have carried them away. Maybe they will be up here. They were Mommy's old slippers. I got them out of the garbage. They were so big. They didn't keep my feet too warm. But my feet are cold. I'd better warm them up before I go on. It's hard getting warm. This must be the coldest day of the year. I'm freezing. Ears are tricking me. That's the song Grandmother taught me right before she died. I wonder where it's coming from. Oh, I think my eyes are tricking me. That is the biggest house I've ever seen. It's beautiful. I wonder what it looks like inside. I always wondered what people looked like who lived in a house like that, and what they did, and how they used all those rooms. I don't think it would hurt just to look in the window. I have to be careful so no one will catch me. But night watchmen, they usually get off on holidays. Very quiet. I don't think they'll see me. Oh, what a beautiful sight. They're such a happy family. They're all dressed so pretty. They look like a family out of a fairy tale, like Grandmother used to read me. And their house is so beautiful. The furniture and the Christmas decorations and the thick, warm rug. Follow me in merry measure. And the fire. I can almost feel how warm it is. And the Christmas tree. That's the prettiest Christmas tree I've ever seen. I didn't have a Christmas tree. I wish I had a Christmas tree like that one.
Season to be jolly. La 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 la. Down we are again. La 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 la. The ancient Yuletide carol. La 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 la.
Oh no, I can't imagine anyone who lives in a house like this with such a happy family ever being sad.
The holidays are going to be over and no one's going to be happy anymore.
Oh, no. Well, it doesn't have to be that way.
But it is that way.
What makes you think so?
How could he not be happy?
After people open presents, they're not happy anymore.
Well, yes, but that's because they expect the presents alone to make them happy.
Grandmother gave me a present, my new red shawl. It made me happy.
But presents make me happy.
Well, of course they do. But the best part of the present is the love and the caring that comes with it. And that makes for a special kind of happiness. And that kind never goes away.
How does it not go away?
Well, we can help it by doing, well, for instance, what the song said, the one the choir sang in church this morning. Who remembers?
I didn't get to go to church on Christmas because Grandmother was gone.
You don't. You don't because you were asleep.
Grandmother and I always went to church together.
Oh, well, sing it for us then.
Whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me.
When I was hungry, you gave me to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. Now enter into the home of my Father. When I was homeless, you opened your door. When I was lonely, you gave me your love. Now enter into the home of my Father. Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that
drink?
I'm afraid so, my darling.
Are there really people that don't have a home and nobody to love them?
Unfortunately, that's true.
Golly. Do they have a family?
Yes, my darling. Everyone has a family. We're all God's children. Everyone in the whole world. So we're all one family. We're brothers and sisters. And we should always treat everyone that way.
Golly, wouldn't the world be a wonderful place if everybody treated each other that way?
So, you see, Danny, you're very lucky. Well, we're all very lucky. But there are a lot of people in the world who aren't so lucky. Who are poor, lonely, don't have anyone to care about them. So, if you ever get the chance to help someone like that, to make them happy, then you'll make yourself happy too. And that's the real spirit of Christmas. And that's how we can keep the happiness from ever going away.
Dinner is served.
Come on, children.
I don't want to lose them. I'll go find them. But I better not let them see me. If they did, I know they'd feed me and be nice to me. But then they'd worry about my parents and want to bring me home. And I couldn't lie to them. They're too nice. Oh, what a beautiful dining room. That is the most delicious turkey. I can almost taste it.
Daniel, you must stop. Children, now stop it, please. We must love.
I can't believe the parents don't get mad. I wish I had parents like that. And we're in a family like this. With grandmother gone, I don't know what my life will be like now.
We're all going to have a wonderful time. Margaret, you're the most marvelous cook in the world and getting better every year.
Would you like to have a nice glass of holiday cheer, sir?
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, sir.
And to you, Margaret.
Thank you. And to you, Bob. Happy New Year, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year to all of you. And thank you for letting me celebrate New Year's Eve with you. It's been so much fun. I hope you all have the happiest New Year ever.
Happy New Year. And Miss Pritchard, would you have a glass of cheer? I think so. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, 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 cheers.
No. And dancing across the table.
He's dead. But it's up in heaven, Danny. Nuh-uh, it's right here. But it can't feel anything. But it felt something when it got
Now,
there.
who wants to say the blessing?
Me!
Well then, say it all together.
Oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need, the sun and rain and the apple seed. The Lord is good to me. Amen.
I'm glad he didn't see me. But I'm sorry my New Year's Eve celebration is over. I didn't realize how cold I got watching the family. It made me forget. My feet hurt. They're numb. I don't want them to get frostbite. I have to get to the cemetery to see Grandmother. I'm sure there's a stable in the back. I hear the horses. Maybe I can crawl in the straw and warm up a bit. But I'd better be quiet. If I go in the stable, I might stir the horses. I better sit here and warm myself. Oh, please, don't let them see me.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! It's going to snow again tonight and we're going to freak to death. Come on! Bring it along! Bring it along! Yes, come on!
I better hurry up and warm myself and get on my way. Oh, my hands hurt. Maybe I could light a match and warm them up. It feels so good. So warm. It's such a pretty flame. So bright. It's the most beautiful flame I've ever seen. It looks like it's getting bigger. It looks like a big fire. Like magic. It is a big fire. And I'm sitting in front of it. In the big house. And I'm in the pretty dress, like the girls. On the thick rug. It feels so warm. This is the most beautiful sight I've ever seen. Oh no. I don't want it to go away. another one. Oh, it's like a star. It is magic. I can see the dining room of the big house, and I'm there. It's the most beautiful dining room. And all the silver and crystal and food. And the delicious turkey. Surely it won't hurt to take just a little taste. Oh no, it's dancing like they said. Oh no. I want to see another one. It's the pretty Christmas tree. And I'm dancing around it, playing with the presents and the toys and the tree. There are even toys on the tree. And gingerbread men and candy canes and candles twinkling like stars. They are the stars in the sky. One of them fell. Grandmother told me that when a star falls, a soul rises up to God. I wish it were mine, so I could be with Grandmother. I wonder what I'll see this time. I don't believe my eyes.
Grandmother! Grandmother!
Come, darling. We're going to be together forever and ever and ever.